Hey everyone, thanks for checking out this week's Creator Report with Calkfern. Had a lot of fun doing this video. Played Generation Zero for the first time, really got to know Calkfern, and had a lot of fun. This is the full video, so if you don't have time, feel free to check out the shortened video in the link below. But I will say, you will miss out on a lot of cool information about the man. If you liked the video, please drop a like, give me a follow, and let me know what you think. Any suggestions on future streamers or more questions you would have liked to hear. Thanks for watching. Well, first, how do you pronounce your gamer tag? And second, where did you come up with that gamer tag? Like, where did you come up with that name?
So you can, people pronounce it Calkfern. I say Calkfern. I'm not too picky on that. Fern, Calc. I've had people call me Cal. Whatever. But where it came from is a really an odd story.
Good. That's even better.
So, you remember back in the Xbox 360 days?
Yeah.
When you first get Xbox Live, they would suggest a gamer tag for you, and you could either pick it or change it.
Uh-huh.
So the gamer tag that it gave me was Wiener Tree.
Wiener Tree.
Oh, that's what it gave me, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? 17-year-old me was stoked about it. Oh, this looks cool. So I used Wiener Tree for years, and then when that whole when would that have been? That would have been like 2012, 2010 or something, when the big hack went out with BattleNet when StarCraft 2 was a thing. I unfortunately got hacked, and I lost my email because of it, so I couldn't get back into my email.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then I tried to call Microsoft support, and they couldn't get back into my account for me, so Wiener Tree was no more. So it was very upsetting. So I decided to sort of incognito stick with a genital plant combo per my name. So I left the U out on purpose so that it wasn't too obvious.
That's nice.
So yeah, anyways, I went with Calkfern.
I was gonna say, when you were saying Calkfern, I'm like, I feel like I'm not gonna say that because I know I'm gonna say Cockfern. Like, it's just gonna come out. Like, but that's what your name is meant to be.
What it is. Yeah. So from Wiener Tree to Calkfern.
I like it.
That's where we are. Actually, my wife, her Xbox gamer tag is Cooter Spruce. Yeah, and then my the other ones are over here. My alternate account that I use for Smurfs is Cedar Peter. So.
I feel like there's a trend going on. Just stuck.
But yeah.
I like it, dude.
We're kind of stupid, but you can blame Microsoft for that one.
Hey, if Microsoft's giving out those kind of names, might as well embrace it, right? Sweet, dude. So, how long have you been streaming now?
I dabbled in it like a little over a year ago. I didn't have a good enough computer to really put effort into it. I'd say more so seriously in October of just this last year. That's also when I kind of made the switch to that's when I made the switch to PC. That's when I made the switch to Facebook gaming. It's just I've been trying to put more effort into it, but you know, sometimes you just don't have the time.
Yeah, for
Especially
sure.
like there's the income's not there, right? So I'm trying to make it less of a hobby and more of a real thing. Dude just ran away from us. But yeah, I'd say so October. So how many months would that be? A little over 6 months.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
So what got you into streaming? Like, why? Obviously, you like video games.
Yeah. I actually, I guess like I guess with my first stream that I ever did was like, God, 3 years ago. Would have been. Oh, this guy came back. Would have been, dude. I don't know if you remember a game called Paragon that Epic made.
Paragon, I don't think I remember that.
It was basically like a League of Legends style game, but it had like 3D. It wasn't bird's eye. Anyways, yeah, I streamed Paragon. And me and the group that I was playing with at that point in time were a group of friends who were actually in the top 0.2% of the game. So I decided, well, you know, maybe I'll give streaming a shot. But yeah, I have been playing video games since I was like 3 years old, all the way back to the regular Nintendo, good old NES. And I thought, more so recently, with all the blow up of everything, when Fortnite first came out, I was actually pretty decent at it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Why don't I give this whole streaming thing a shot? I'm garbage at it now with all the changes, but like, I mean,
I think most people feel that way about Fortnite.
Yeah. So like, I thought I'd give it a shot. So I wanted to build a PC anyways. So I sold my old beater and slowly bought the parts and decided to kind of just start it up. And I mainly just kind of wanted to build a community. I wasn't looking to make money on it. I wasn't looking for anything like that. I just wanted to like maybe find a group of friends to just play some games with, right?
Yeah.
But I think I guess that's changed since then. But
nice, dude.
yeah, that's kind of. I just thought, you know what, I'm pretty good at video games. Why don't I give it a shot? And then I fell in love with other aspects of it. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, you're just playing video games. And I mean, that's kind of how it starts, obviously, because you are at first. But then as you grow and do it more, like, you have to be more committed and put the time in. And there's a lot more to it, but it gets a lot of fun.
It's like Stone says, right? It's like a business. It is a business.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Like, it's...
can be just playing games if that's what you want it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So on that note, you said you've been gaming since you were 3 years old, original Nintendo. What game like got you to fall in love with gaming?
Oh man.
3 years old.
Like,
that's only a little bit ago.
Yeah. Like, I guess honestly, the first game I can actually remember playing would have been one of two. Would have been three. Sorry, I can think of three. Either Boogerman for Super Nintendo. Then there was Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Gotta love Zelda.
Yeah, I've got a Triforce tattooed on my hand. Like that's nice, definitely, dude. Hands down one of my favorite. And then the other one would have been Mario RPG.
True. Nice. Mario games are always good too. So kind of follow up to that. I mean, those were your first games that you ever played. What is your all-time favorite video game?
Ooh, asking the real questions, eh?
Oh, I jump right in, man.
So all-time favorite game.
Oh, that's like, I think that's, oh jeez.
That's like,
it's a mean question to ask.
It is. Like, I've always in the past said A Link to the Past. It's a game that like I can go back all the time and play again and again and again.
Yeah.
But oh man, it's really hard. You know what? I'm gonna go with. Can I go with a series?
Absolutely, that's totally fine.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Fallout series.
Oof, that's a good series to pick.
Yeah, I've always loved them, and here's not a very popular opinion, but I really was not a fan of New Vegas, and that seems to be the one that everybody loves. I mean, I still played through it, I still beat it, but it just, I don't know. I wasn't into it as much.
Yeah.
But like Fallout 3, I think is the first game. That was the first game that I 100% achievements for on Xbox.
So Fallout series, good series.
But Fallout 3 was the first game that I really got, like, I got 100% achievements in that. I honestly probably played like 300 plus hours in that game. I did absolutely everything that you possibly could in that game.
Yeah.
So I guess if I had to pick, it would be Fallout 3.
Nice, dude. So you said you used to play on Xbox 360. Are you still playing like console games, or are you exclusively PC gaming now?
Like I still have an Xbox One. I had a PS4. I would prefer to get them on PC. I'm still like, I've only been playing keyboard and mouse for a month and a half, maybe 2 months now. I strictly played on controller when I first got my PC because I was so bad at keyboard and mouse.
So sorry, I interrupted you when you were answering. My question is, why did you get rid of the PS4? The PlayStation has the exclusive games.
Yes, they do, and that's the whole reason I picked it up. Like, I never got a PS3. I had a PS2. I had a PS1. I had original Xbox. Like, I liked owning multiple consoles. The PS3, there just wasn't really anything that kind of tickled my fancy, I guess you could say. But with PlayStation 4, I actually just told this story in Joey's stream because he was asking me because he's playing on PS4. So I had bought it. I bought it for Destiny because like when Taken King came out, because a lot of my friends were playing it, and I thought, hey, like, good chance to play with old friends and whatnot. And I played Paragon on it as well. And when one night I woke up and it was like, oh, you have a $140 charge from PSN. Oh my god, there's another one coming. And I was like, what do you mean I have a $140 charge from PSN? Like, I did not buy anything. And I called their support because it wouldn't let me log into my PSN to even see what it was. And they said, there was an email change on your account. I said, okay. Well, like, and then they're like, and then like 5 minutes later, a purchase for $140 was made. I was like, you don't kind of see that as a little bit of a red flag? Like, you let them purchase something after that? Like, that seems a little weird. I was like, whatever. I was like, just, it wasn't me. I just want my money back. And they told me, oh, sorry, we don't do refunds. I said, no, like, your bad security is what spent my money, not me. And I was on the phone with them for a very long time over this. They eventually said, okay, we'll look into it. We'll see if we can get your money back in 7 days. In 7 business days, you'll find out if you can get your money back. That's what they had said. And I was like, 7 days, I'll find out if I can get the money that was stolen from me back. Like, that just seemed a little weird to me. I was like, whatever. I was like, well, like, you should be compensating me. Like, give me something. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, your security was hacked. Like, I would have settled. Like, give me like my next month of PSN for free or something. You know, like,
anything.
Just like a whoops. they said, no, we can't issue you compensation at this time. And I said, okay. I was like, well, like, you gotta do something. You're telling me I might not even get my money back. Like, what am I supposed to do here? And yeah, they weren't budging on anything. So I was like, look, like, if I don't get anything compensated out of this, I will be selling all my Sony products and I'll be sure to never use them again. And they said, oh, we're sorry to hear that. Is there anything else we can help you out with today? And I was like,
it's like a hard we don't care.
Okay, sold the PS4 the next day. And haven't used anything PlayStation since then because I was not customer care.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
But it is a bad experience. I can't like say that it's like that for everybody. So like I don't try to bash it or anything because some people do love it. And honestly, there were a lot of exclusives that I wanted to buy, and I never got around to playing just because I can't bring myself to supporting that after that situation. Yeah, just kind of like a salty situation.
Yeah, that's rough. I actually don't have an Xbox, so it's like PlayStation just has the games, man. Like if you're gonna, but that would certainly be frustrating.
I've always like leaned towards Xbox because I am a very PvP oriented gamer. Like I do like my competitive gameplay, and Xbox just in the past has always been the more competitive console. Like I found like with the 360 PS3 era, I would play Call of Duty on Xbox, and I'd have some like tough games, and then I'd go to play on PlayStation, and it was like I was fighting a bunch of 5-year-old children who had no idea what they were doing. So I don't know, like I was just like, okay, like.
No, that makes sense. I think it's definitely changed since then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it has.
At least, like,
but I played on PS4. So, Destiny on PS4. I had no problem with Trials of Osiris and stuff like that. And then when I switched to Xbox, I could barely get 5 wins without a loss. I was like, all right.
It depends on the game, but I know like Call of Duty wise, PlayStation is the game you play, or the console of choice.
It is now, yeah. So Xbox used to have all the exclusives, right, in the early access, but now PlayStation has taken that from them.
If you want to drop a relay beacon,
yeah, I did, yeah. Should it's in the house. I probably shouldn't have put it like right inside of that.
All right, let's just cross our fingers.
Yeah, for real.
This time. So outside of streaming, what's life like for Calkfern?
Yeah. Well, I work full time. I sell cell phones. It's hard to say. But yeah, I sell cell phones. I am a married man. To a beautiful wife. We have a beautiful daughter together who is going to be a year old in June 25th.
Exciting, super exciting.
Of how many months away that was, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to say June. And yeah, work, games, life,
family.
Baby, family. Yeah, it's got my hands full.
Nice.
But
that's awesome.
No, yeah, I don't really do anything else other than those 3 things. I used to be like really big into sports. I shouldn't say that. Like I'm a big hockey fan, so I do watch a lot of hockey and stuff like that too when I get the opportunity. Other sports I find a little difficult to watch, like football and stuff. I'd rather go watch it live than on TV, but hockey's one I can do either.
Yeah, you're from Canada, right?
That's correct.
All right, that does explain a little bit of the hockey. I mean, I know plenty of people that still love hockey, and they're not from Canada, but
You know what's funny too is I don't even cheer for a Canadian team.
who's your hockey team?
Washington Capitals.
Nice.
Dude, somebody in my chat just brought up, don't forget you play music, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess. So I've definitely toured in bands, and I've been playing music for years too. I've kind of put that on a bit of a hiatus. I do it when I have the time to. It just became more like a job than a hobby. Does that make sense?
Oh, band. You were in a band.
Yeah.
Or you've been in bands, and you kind of laid off or took a step back from that because it became more like a job than a hobby. But what instrument do you usually play? Or what do you usually do in the bands?
Yeah, so I'm usually either guitar or vocals. I would say those are my two main. I definitely prefer guitar over vocals.
Yeah.
Less pressure. I cannot find this big dude. So in my most recent band,
he disappeared. He had to have disappeared.
Yeah, like I don't see that.
He was
body.
glitched out.
Great. In my most recent band, I was the vocalist to start. We then we lost one of our guitarists, so I had switched to singing and guitar, and it's metal, so we pulled in a separate screamer, and I was just doing the singing and playing guitar, and then we just decided that shows weren't as important anymore, and we just kind of wanted to write music. So then we just kind of did it with the four of us. Just I was helping with guitar, but like we had our one main guitarist, and then I was doing the vocals and some of the guitar, and then we had the other guitarist and then the drummer and the bass player. But so in that one I kind of did both. I can play bass, I can somewhat play drums, I can somewhat play piano. Once you kind of get the hang of one, it's pretty easy to pick up on the rest.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, but I've been playing music since I think I started playing guitar when I was 18, 17. So it's been 10 years now.
What game are you most excited for in the next year? Are there any games that you're just, even more than a year, but any games that you're just like super hyped for?
Let's see. So one would be that Star Wars Fallen Order.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down.
Definitely excited for that.
That should be amazing, hopefully.
Hopefully.
It's being made by Respawn, so I do have faith. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Titanfall series. And then Apex being made by Respawn as well, like that definitely, I think, bodes well for them.
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to think of what else is even coming out. That one for sure. Like, I definitely want to, like I said, like I'm only like just getting into the PC gaming, right? So like,
it's such a new world compared to any console gaming I've ever done. Like, there's so much more games, just more.
Yeah. Honestly, just like whatever type games too, like 7 Days to Die, like a game that came out in 2012. Like, I'm having a blast playing. Like,
I haven't played that one, but I've heard a lot of people love it.
Yeah, I die a lot in that too. But no, it's like so much fun playing it. And then what else is coming up? I'm trying to remember here. Do I need to pull up a list? I guess E3 hasn't happened yet, right? Or did it?
Yeah.
But definitely that Star Wars one, like I'm gonna be all over that. I'm Well, this will pretty much give it away. I'm a huge fan of like Knights of the Old Republic, the original like 1 and 2.
Oh,
Like,
I mean, absolutely.
beautiful. Those games ended up turning into Mass Effect. And don't get me wrong, the earlier Mass Effects were phenomenal, but I think they changed it too much. But I love those games. I love the characters. I love the story. My daughter's name is actually Revan.
So I've got to ask, was that a battle with your wife, or was that an easy win?
Yes, no. So she likes Star Wars, not as much as I do. She loves the newer ones, and she loves 1, 2, and 3. She just kind of struggles sitting through the bad quality of the older ones, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways. And also we always try to do them all at once, which is probably just a terrible idea. Like, it's tough to do. But we wanted something gender neutral because we were thinking of a name before we knew what we were having. Yeah. And we were just sitting there thinking, we're going over a whole bunch of options. We're like, okay, well, this for a girl, this for a boy, this for that. Like, let's think of, oh, you know what, this one works for both. And then one day I was like, Revan. Like, that works, like, for female. For a male, Revan in true is gender unknown, like, in the actual lore, right? So it's just like, it's actually like perfect. Like, it would work if we had a boy, if we had a girl. And she was just like, as soon as I said it, she's like, what's it from? And I was just like, okay, it's Star Wars. And she's just like, okay. I'm like, but no movies made on Revan, so it's not like super mainstream, so it's not like people are gonna be like, you named your kid Jar Jar Binks. And she ended up deciding to do some research on Revan, like, as a character, and she came back to me that next day and she's like, you know, I do really like that name. I love that Revan kinda isn't good and isn't bad, and just sort of fights wherever they see fit to fight, right? Like, fights on behalf of the Jedi, fights on behalf of the Sith. It just all depends on who they see is right in that circumstance. And I just thought, like, you know, it's literally true neutral, like. And so yeah, she did hate me for a bit. She was like, I hate that I can't think of a better name.
That's,
you know,
awesome.
That's our little Rev.
That's a super cool story, man.
Yeah, her middle name we took after my wife's aunt. So middle name's Dorothy, so we call her Revy Dot.
Revy Dot, I like it. That's awesome. That's kind of what I wanted to run through. Mm-hmm. Got to know some interesting stories about you and your daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a funny one, and it's funny too because we'll like write it down or type it out, or like people will be like, "Oh, Raven," and it's just like, nope, Revan, and they're like, "Oh, Reven," and it's just like, "Oh my God, it's Evan with an R. It's not that hard."
Yeah. So my wife and I, we have a 4-month-old.
Okay.
His name is Easton, and people always ask like how we got the name, and we just could not figure a boy name out. We had like 100 girl names picked. I loved them all, but she'd bring up a boy name, and I'd just be like, I knew a guy with that name in high school, and he was a douche.
Yeah.
And stuff. And so finally, she made me download this app called Kinder. So Tinder with a K.
Yeah.
And we just a while going through that, and we kept matching on girl names, and then finally we matched on Easton, and we're like, well, let's just be done with it. We like the name, we matched on it. Let's just call it good.
That's funny. Yeah, we tried that too, and like, it was the same thing, right? Like, oh my God, like, what what person with this name do you know that isn't a dickhead? And it's just like, you know, like we just couldn't like decide on anything. And I forget what was actually. I actually can't even remember what was leading the way before we. What was leading the way before we went with it either.
Yeah.
Just like it's just that one's stuck.
That's awesome. Oh man, I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, it's picking a name, man. It's interesting. It was all the app was interesting too, because I get like the same name 5 times in a row with just different spellings.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
Welcome
you know, changing the spelling of the name is not gonna make me like it anymore. Maybe if I had a name picked out. If I had a name picked out, and I might be like, okay, yeah, let's take this name and just play with it a little bit. But
yeah. Yeah, no, we were like polar opposite with names. It was rough. I do know for a boy she really liked the name Archer. I guess one other thing I could mention is just sort of why I kind of want to stream and like why I'm trying to push so hard now for it.
Yeah, dude, totally.
Yeah, basically, this is kind of one of the reasons I started getting into it too. I didn't even really think about it, but seeing all these streamers do these charity streams and stuff like that really started to inspire me, and that's sort of what I want to do with it. Like, if I can make it a full-time career, that's great. It's not something that I need to happen or anything like that. But I want to get to the point, like, even if I was able to make it a full-time career, to just take the money that I need to get by and just run, like, even like a charity event every week or a charity event, like, you know, whenever I can. But I want to basically donate as much money as I can. So I'm not really in it for me, per se.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, I need doing something I'm having fun with, sure, but like, not like I will take enough money to keep food on the table, and the rest is going where it needs to go on something I've always tried to do, just even with my own money. In general.
So do you have like a certain charity that you like to work with or donate to, or just
not necessarily?
Whatever.
So it's really cool at my work. So I work for TELUS, which is a phone company here, and TELUS is extremely big into charity, which is actually nice to see for such a big company. Like, they're not, and it's not even in it for them even, which is really, really nice, because we have this thing every summer called TELUS Days of Giving, and it's, I think, a month and a half long, and basically any charity events that are in that time, anybody can post them, and you can get a team out with you and go volunteer at these things. And they actually, cool. Yeah, they pay your wages out, they match your wages for the day and pay them to the charity that you go out to do this for, which is like really, really cool. So like, there's a lot that I've done through work, and then of course, like, my beautiful, gorgeous wife, she
gotta throw that in there.
She works for a community health center, like, so she helps people who don't have it easy. Like, even though it's healthcare's free here in Canada, like, not everybody can get it per se. Like, you can't just go to the hospital when you're got like a small infection or a chest infection and get an antibiotic, right? Like, And then like even if you don't have your health card, so like she deals with a lot of people who kind of have barriers. So like people who are homeless, who are drug addicts and stuff like that. So you know, I'd like to be able to give back to the community that she works with every day as well, to try to help those people out. Like we always try our best with that stuff, just outside of everything. But charity's something that I've always been big into since I was a kid. And actually probably one of the first ones that I'll probably run something for is, got guys up here. My wife's grandfather actually created the Brain Tumor Foundation of Canada. So he's one of the co-founders. It was him and a surgeon that was his friend, and they created the company. So every year we go out and we do the spring sprint with them, and we volunteer and we help out, and he gives his speech because he's the founder of it all and everything. Like he definitely doesn't do it anymore. He's not as hands-on anymore. He's definitely given up the company to people as he's gotten older. But it's just, I don't know, it was really cool to know somebody like that. That's a big foundation now here in Canada. Like it's huge. It's countrywide. And just to think that it started at his kitchen table is just really, really cool.
That's super cool. No, like that's something. Like that's something that I haven't heard really from most dreamers. Most people are like, yeah, I want to make a lot of money. But the fact that you really want to do a lot of charity stuff, that's super unique.
I always even say too, like if I were to ever win the lottery, like I would literally, I'd buy myself a house, I'd buy like my friends something nice. Oh, I died. I'd buy my friends something nice, and then, you know, I'd probably donate most of it. Because, like, as long as I have enough to get by, like, I don't mind working. Like, I have the ability to work. Some people don't. And, those are the people who need the help. Need the money more than I do, right?
Well, no, dude, that's really cool. Doing it more for charity than yourself, that's...
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, like, it'd be great to, you know, have a full-time career, but, like, I would never take more than I needed. Like, if my bills are paid, then help other people, right?
Yeah. I mean, come on, dude. This interview is all about you, and like you save the best for like an hour after we're done with it.
I was just, and it's like I was like I gotta make sure that like I go over that, and like it completely blanked my mind when we got to that point in time.
Hey, that's when you know you're in it for the right reasons.
Yeah. Like it's not. Yeah. I don't know.
That's awesome, dude. No, I mean, I get it. You, like, if you can make enough money to make this a career, like, that's everyone's goal.